We are live on YouTube, and we are going to be live on Facebook in just a second. I'm on devices. There we go. We are live on both. Excellent, excellent. Hey, everybody, how's it going? Miguel Rodriguez here for the Bakersfield Gentlemen on this excellent final third of the week as we wrap up our promotion and our feature of classic Stix. This time with the JD. You can see this very nice barber pole right there in my hand at Solomon's size. I'm digging that very much. And we actually have a special treat for you guys too. We actually have the brand owners with us today. Very excited about that as well. So if you have any questions for them, you want to know more about the Stix, just some basic background as we're going to go over, as you'll see in just a minute. Be sure to ask your questions. I want you guys to chime in with us. Would love to hear what y'all have going on for today. Let me check on over here to see if I can't see comments already. Close that out. My goodness. Trying a new setting, guys. So if I don't see your name pop up, do me a favor and let me know you're watching by putting a comment on there. I really appreciate that, guys. Want to make sure we can see where you're at, what you're doing. For those who are already watching, thank you so much. And Frankie's getting his sharing in. You getting that in?
Yep.
All right, sounds good. Almost done?
Almost done.
Almost done. All right, good. Just to let you guys a quick reminder before we get started with the interview. You have till Tuesday to get your weigh in for the weight loss contest. If you want to hop in there, all you have to do is weigh in by then. Weigh out on the 21st of June. You have a chance to win 25 cigars. Cannot wait to see who wins that. And if you would like to be in the pool tournament here in Bakersfield, California, if you're in the area, 2 cigar buy-ins. It is May 14th is the tournament. Food, drinks, a good time right here at Culebras Lounge. I hope you guys will join us for that as well. If you can make it. If you can make it, no pressure. No pressure. Well, maybe a little bit of pressure, but you know what I'm doing. All right. So, bro, I'm gonna go ahead and start us off. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
He's ready. Okay. Devin, give me a thumbs up if you are ready for us to bring you on. Perfect. Okay. Hey, sir, how you doing?
Good afternoon. Doing well. Yeah, it was just getting a little work done on the house today. So it's time to sit down and enjoy a cigar with you fine fellas.
Fantastic. So what are you going to be smoking today?
I was going to go for the JD, but after doing concrete work, I'm like, you know what? I got to go with something a little stronger and do the King and the 60 gauge.
Fantastic. So actually, yeah, that was something that we were talking about last time we smoked one of your cigars was ring gauge sizes. Now, there's lots of different ring gauge sizes because there's lots of different smokers. And that's one of the great things about cigars. You don't all have to fit into the same peg. Some people may like a shorter, fatter cigar. Some people may like, the Churchill size. Some people may like the Gordo, the Robusto, the Lancero. I'm a big Lancero guy myself. That's the great thing about cigars. So, you let us know that they did make them in those larger sizes. So if there's somebody out there that does like that, there is something to accommodate for that.
Oh, 100%. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Are you watching on Facebook?
Yes.
Can you pull up the comments? Because there are some on there. It's just giving me trouble watching over here.
I only have a couple comments. Raymond and Brian are both saying hello. Our little brother is watching from our mom's.
So he's ditching school and he's trying to watch.
Yeah.
Not good, kid.
What,
Richard
ditching
and Jeff
high school?
No, he's going into middle school.
Wow, yeah. Already ditching.
I know, terrible. We're bad influences apparently because this is not good.
I didn't start ditching till probably a year after I got a car in school.
That's the way to do it though. Like if you don't have the car, where are you going? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I think for me, growing up in Ventura, right by the beach, I think I ditched most when I was like a senior. But that was only because I had already had all my credits. They made me do like weightlifting, teacher's aid, office aid. I'm like, no, I'm pretty much done. And when you're 18, they let you write your own notes. So I was all like, I got a lot of doctor's visits, man. Let me just write a note real quick. But yeah, it was always fun to escape that for a little while and go over to the beach.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, before we get into too many of Frankie's terrible habits from his past, Devin, let's go into just some basics first. Let's just start off with some of the simpler stuff. Like, when did you guys start Classic Stix? And how long have you guys been doing this for?
Let's see. Actually, I'm somewhat fresh, I guess. I hopped on board with James sometime last year. I can't remember exactly when. But I know he'd been going at it, or going at it for a while, coming up with the blends and the sizes and all that. But I actually met James through Lars, or Lars Tetens, for any of you who may not know who Lars is. But I'd known Lars for whatever 2 or 3 years at that point, and I'd actually gotten a small settlement check from a car accident, and I was talking to Lars one day, and I was like, man, I really don't want to just let this money sit there and do nothing, or risk spending it on a bunch of BS. And so a little while, sorry, I keep thinking someone's slamming a door, but it's the Pendleton. But he was like, oh my gosh, hey, I know this guy. He has a cigar company. He's looking for a partner. I'd like you two to meet and discuss some things and see what you think. And I liked him and he liked me, and here we are now. I'm sure when James pops on, he'll have many more details than I do. I'm not always the best with some of that stuff, but I've been on probably somewhere around a year.
The company standpoint of things, when did you get into cigars? Were you already smoking cigars before that? Is that how you knew Lars? Or were you brand new to cigars and maybe just a new venture for you? What started your journey off with cigars?
A funny little story. I've only been smoking cigars probably about 5 years now. I think I was 30. And I was hanging out with my girlfriend at the time. We wanted to roll a joint, but awesome. Oh, hey, sorry. James is asking, how does he log on?
Oh, no worries. Yeah.
Give me one second.
Do you need to back out and show him real quick?
Yeah, just real quick.
Yeah, okay, no problem. So we have Richard sending us some stars. Thank you. Brian saying something about the Oliva Serie Milanio. Let's see. What did I miss?
Yeah, if you guys might not have noticed while Frankie's looking through the comments, we put up the first.
Joachim saying hi from Sweden.
Oh, awesome. Very nice. Appreciate that. Watching with us there. Check out the Classic Stixes we're talking about today. We'll have Devin back in just a second. He's showing James how to use it. That's the thing about running a cigar company. They probably don't tell you nowadays. You have to know the tech ahead of time. Mm-hmm. You got to know how to hop on the interviews and whatnot, because a lot of them are still in person, but then you have all the different ways to video chat in. Mm-hmm. So I totally get that. You're not going to know every single one of them. And most of the time people ask, oh, what's your Zoom this or your Zoom? And then, no, we use StreamYard.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Zoom for this kind of thing. And people say all the time, like, hey, join our Zoom, or our Discord. And it's just awkward to me. Like, I don't know when I should chime in. I don't know if I'm making a point and someone else is trying to make a point too, if I should stop. It's always been awkward to me to use a Discord or a Zoom. So I've never really cared for it all that much, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I feel like it's there's too many voices at once, but I do like talking to everybody. It is fun. But then if I try to have a conversation like one person, I feel like I'm excluding others, or if I butt in, that could be a problem as well. Okay, Devin is back, so I'm going to bring him back on then. There we go.
Oh, so Jeff is lighting up an Oliva Serie Milanio. That's what he talked about. He said he's lighting up my favorite. And Brian was guessing that it was the Oliva Serie Milanio. And Byron said, okay, that was quite a cliffhanger. Time and to a story. We had to get out there for the rest of it.
Well, you guys are using StreamYard like we do with Lars, but I guess he was unsure of how to do it for some reason.
It happens. It happens.
It's technology. Well, I guess it's 5 o'clock over there, so it's probably beer 30.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Um,
So we left off. You guys were just trying to roll a joint.
oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I texted Frankie James's number, by the way, because I don't think I gave it to you yet. So we were sitting around, we were wanting to roll a joint. Apparently had no rolling papers, which is, aside from missing lighters, a typical stoner problem. So we were like, all right, let's go find some papers. And for whatever reason, couldn't find any at like gas stations or little convenience stores. And there was a lack of good smoke shops for some reason at the time. And we were driving down, what is that? Center City Parkway in Escondido. And there's this big sign off the side of the road at the intersection of El Norte and Center City. And it says Lord Puffer. Big old letters, Lord
Nice.
Puffer. So naturally, what do you think is going to be in there? Silly me. I didn't read the bottom of the sign or just didn't see it. It says tobacconist. I still would have had no idea at the time. So we walk into the shop thinking, oh, it's going to be a smoke shop because it's a nice, pretty big building. It's the size of a small house.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so we walk in and we're like, oh my God, this is a giant walk-in humidor. Well, we're not finding anything here, but she wanted to go look at the cigars for some reason. So I was like, I'll join you. And I think it's possible I may have puffed on a cigar briefly once before, maybe. But I was like, all right, I'm curious. Let's check this place out. And I start talking to the guy working behind the counter at the time. And I told him, I was like, I have a beer tasting coming up with some roommates in like a week or something. I've never had a cigar. What would you recommend that would go with a variety of beers and be suitable for someone who's never really had a cigar? So he takes me into a corner at the back of the shop, and they, at the time, had a bunch of, I don't want to say piles, but bundles, I guess, of unbanded cigars. So no idea what they were. But he pulls out this Connecticut, no band on it. Didn't ask him who made it. And he was telling me it's a Connecticut. The cap was sweetened with like honey or something, and he was like, I think this will be really good for you. Try it out. So time comes to light it up, and I was intrigued because I had tried cigarettes before, of course. Well, not of course, but I'd tried cigarettes, been around cigarette smokers my whole life, hated it, could never figure out how to enjoy a cigarette. Like, it just baffled me. But all the little like nuances of cigar tobacco just intrigued me. So I just kept going back and back and back. Started to get to be friendly with the owners. I'd stay there past closing, smoking and talking. Whenever I could get there, I would go. And then fast forward to a few years ago, I moved back to California from Chicago after a breakup, and I see all of this buzz online about Lars Teton cigars, but I couldn't figure out how to find them. So
It's hard for
I did a bit of a Hail Mary out there and contacted him through Instagram. I was like, let me go find this guy on there. He's on there, but he's not really on there. But I guess I caught him. I was like, hey, I've heard about your cigars. How the hell do I find them? So he sends back his phone number and says, call me at like 2 p.m. tomorrow or something, and we'll talk. So time comes, I call him, and we probably spoke about 15 minutes about the weather and maybe 2 or 3 minutes about cigars. And he was like, hey, I'm going to send you some stuff. And then, yeah, It's been pretty much daily since that point.
That's awesome.
That's
That's some
And then,
respect right there.
yeah.
He's such a good dude.
yeah. And then fast
Before we
forward
get
a
into
little
James,
more.
real quick,
We meet James.
James,
Hey,
how
how
you doing today? Hope you're
Hey,
doing
how
well.
you doing?
Doing really well over here. Just real quick, I want to answer some questions we got over here.
Oh, the comments.
As far as barber pole stick goes, this is the JD from Classic Stix, guys. I'm still trying to pick out the flavors myself, but I will say I have been able to retrohale this cigar every other draw, and it's been amazingly smooth. No pepper on the retro. So for you guys that maybe don't retrohale your cigars, because it does sometimes have that peppery burn to it, this might be a good cigar for you guys to pick up and give a try to that retro. Again, I've been retroing this thing like crazy. I don't know if you guys could pick that up on the camera or not, but no spice to it on the retro. Just a nice, pleasant tobacco on that retro. So if that's something you guys are looking to get into, definitely maybe a good one to try. But sir, how are you doing today?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. What about you guys?
Oh, it's a good day right now. Just enjoying my cigar. As Frankie is doing the same right now, the JD. We got a chance to talk with Devin. That's a very good, what do you call it? Origin stories for cigars, by the way.
It's a little different, right?
Yeah,
a little different. It's not so romantic, but it's funny.
Hey, it works. That's the only. As long as it gets you to cigars, that's a great story. That is a romantic story, in my opinion.
I mean, I legitimately got sad a few weeks back when I went out to Pennsylvania and had to fly back to finish helping out the family. I was like, I got back home and I'm like, man, I want to go back to Pennsylvania already. It was so green out there, and it was. But yeah.
So James, give us a little background about yourself. Have you always been, into the cigar community? What brought you into bringing out your own brand? Let people know more about you that may not know you.
Cigars. I kind of been around them for quite some time as a kid. My grandfather and had a great uncle. I used to smoke cigars all the time. Forget. The aroma I just loved. I don't know why at that young age, but it was just something that I never would forget. And me and my grandfather used to take trips a lot. And as we were riding in the truck in a little country town, he's smoking his cigar, talking on back then CB, and and I'm just kind of looking over at him, and that aroma, man, is just, and I loved it. So as I grew older, I was in San Diego actually. This was back in '89. That's when I had my first cigar, and it was something that I never would have forgot. As far as with my grandfather, and when I had the opportunity to do so, I indulged, and I've been smoking ever since, and I love it. And I tell people all the time, man, it's not a hobby, it's a passion for me. And getting into the industry, I was, it's always been on my mind. I like them so much to where it was almost like, damn, what would it be like to be behind the scene doing, creating my own cigar? And then I got into, I said, well, how many Afro-American cigar owners out there? It's not a lot. It's not a lot. So, I was like, well, you know what? Let me venture off into this. And once I got started, I just never looked back. And was able to come up with 4 unique cigars. I mean, as you smoke the Classic King and the Cecil, I mean, they're very unique. They're different. They're different than any other cigar. And I emphasize on that a lot to people. I said, man, this is a cigar that you never never smoked before. I mean, it's something totally different than any other cigar. The aging process and everything, the flavoring is I mean, it's just different. It's a smooth cigar through in and out. It's a classic type cigar, you know. All four, all four. You know, it's just something different. So, you know, now I'm in the game and ain't no turning back now, man. So, you know, I'm shooting for the stars, you know.
I like it.
Now, we did get a question here over on Facebook. I think they asked us at the end of the last show, but we didn't get to it. Where can they find your guys' cigars? Is that an online thing? Is there a website? Are you guys in shops in California around the U.S.? If they wanted to pick up a sampling of your cigars, where would they go?
Online, there's one spot at the moment. It's zcigar.com. Just the letter zcigar.com. Then there's a handful of brick and mortars out in the Pennsylvania area, but haven't done much in California quite yet. But let us know where you'd like to find them, and we can make something happen, you know? Because we just, maybe a month or a few weeks ago, just started getting things rolled out officially.
Yeah. Yeah. So they will be out. They will be in your local cigar stores. Just be patient. We're coming.
Yeah. Definitely send in like the DMs and stuff with wherever you want to see them, and we'll try to make something happen.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
And I believe I got you guys' website too, Classic Stix, in the description, guys. So if you want to check it out, you can see a little more information there as well. I want to make sure I had that in there because I think I remember that question, from before. And I want to make sure there's more information. But the best time to ask questions, guys, is right now. So if you have any questions about specifics, for instance, right now we are smoking again the JD.
Yes,
it is a barber pole. Now, is this something that you were aiming for, like from the very beginning? You wanted to make sure there was a barber pole in the portfolio, or did you try certain blends and realize, man, this is too good to pass up? It's got to be a part of the lineup.
Yeah, well, you know, I really, going into it, I really didn't even think about having a barber pole. After creating a couple of them, I was like, you know what, let's do something a little different. And that's the whole concept, being different. You know, I like to be different because being different, you stand out. And each cigar that was created is different. And it's standing out every time you see. I mean, stand out amongst all the other cigars. So the barber pole was like, let me see, man. You know, let me try to venture out with this here and kind of work with this here and see where it goes. Once created and smoked, I was highly impressed. You know, I was just blown away by it. I was saying, wow. You know, I had some barber poles before, you know, of other cigars, but the Classic JD was one that was just, I mean, it blew me away. You know, and I said, yeah, this is what's going to sell. This is what the people like. And that's why I try to build my cigars around what I like and what I know that the people are going to like. You know, on all my cigars, as you see, it's an even burn, long hard ash, real smooth. I like a cigar that does not change your taste buds. I don't like a real harsh cigar. I like a cigar that's just smooth from the start to finish. You know, and that's what we have. That's what we created. That's what we created. That's the feedback that we're receiving of customers who are smoking the cigars, and they're like, man, I can't believe it. This is a phenomenal cigar. You know, and I mean, they love it. They love it.
And that's the number one thing right there.
Yeah, definitely the positive feedback's always a good thing. We did get a comment here saying we'd like to see them out in Texas. Texas is a huge opportunity out there. I mean, that's such a big state with a lot of cigar smokers out there. And a question we got from Jeff here says, what countries are you using in your blends and how did you land on those countries? So I know from, I believe it was the King that we had, you used both Nicaraguan and Dominican in that one. Are you using any American tobaccos, any Mexican tobaccos, any Honduran tobaccos. Well, what tobaccos are you using in your blends, if you can disclose it?
Let's see. There's some San Andreas in that. I believe the JD right there that you got. I think you guys froze, maybe. There's a Honduran in there, but in there's what do you call? Like the big ones, like Honduras, Nicaragua, the DR, from San Andreas, little Ecuadorian, but want to keep a little mystery for a little while.
Understood. Understood.
Like, I mean, yes, it'll get out there more eventually, but I think, at least for me, I don't know, James, I would like for people to just try the cigar not knowing exactly what's in it first. Like, I mean, outside of anything crazy like roadkill or something, but like just try the cigar and experience it, and then maybe pick it apart and try to figure out where the ingredients are from. Because I like with the band topic, like you see one band and you're gonna gravitate towards that and you'll only smoke, like if it's a Fuente, you're like, I only smoke Fuentes. But who knows? You might like something from somewhere else. The same with like the people who are very, I don't know what the word is, like territorial, I guess, about where they want their tobacco to come from. Like some people only want Nicaragua or the DR or whatever. It's like, I get it, but you may be pleasantly surprised to find that there is some tobacco that comes from somewhere else that comes close to the flavor profile of whatever it is you think you only smoke.
100%. I think that's an excellent way to look at it too, because yeah, sure, you might know what you like already, and it's good to know those things so you can kind of gauge, like, okay, well, this has a San Andreas wrapper, and I'm a big San Andreas wrapper fan, but that doesn't mean that I couldn't enjoy a Habano or a
Exactly.
Sumatra. Sometimes, yeah, if you just kind of not look past it, but just kind of maybe do that research after you tried it.
Exactly. Like you don't want to sway your opinion or whatever you call it, or have that bias in there.
Sure, yeah, very good point. Now I'm going to ask this question, and I'm going to start with you, James, because I already see that Devin has a Stone Brewery IPA out there. What is your drink of
They're
choice?
about 15 minutes down the road.
My drink of choice,
Monkey
now,
shoulder.
yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to say. Now I'm really drinking that Monkey Shoulder. It's a Scotch whiskey blend. Real smooth, man. It pairs with actually all the cigars. I mean, it's just a smooth drink from start to finish as well. I mean, get a couple of puffs and then get a little sip, and I mean, man, it goes well. It pairs extremely well. So I'm really drinking the Monkey Shoulder right now. That's my go-to right now.
Fantastic. Devin, is there something else that you like to drink besides the Stone Breweries?
Well, first off, I'm actually really pleasantly surprised at how well this is pairing with this, because normally things that are real bitter or like spicy, I don't like with a cigar, but there's enough sweetness, I think, left in the Stone IPA that it kind of brings it all together. But outside of that, like a sweeter bourbon, maybe. Like I actually tried a rye whiskey with the JD a while back. I like both very much, but together, not so much. There's just too much spice from it was a Knob Creek rye, too much spice to go with the cigar. But I really like a nice cold sweetened glass of iced tea, or like a hot tea even. A bottle of water, of course. Not so much the coffee really, but once in a while, like in the morning, if I have like the Cecil Robusto, I'll get a nice cup of coffee going.
Very nice. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Real quick, from Richard says he just likes a good stick. Doesn't matter where the tobacco comes from.
Amen.
There you go.
Amen. Right?
can dig it.
I don't care who makes it, where the tobacco comes from. Good is good.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
100%.
Yes,
Like-
absolutely.
They definitely,
So-
definitely would love. They definitely would love the classic sticks, man. I mean, all four, they will definitely love.
They're,
Definitely love.
I have, I have access to these things whenever I want them, and still I'm just like, wow.
Yeah. Every time I light up, and I'm just, I get a couple of puffs and I just look at it. I just lean it back and look at it. I'm like, oh my goodness, man. It seems like it's just something that you just can't get tired of. It's just
All the troubles just melt
phenomenal.
away.
Yeah, phenomenal.
So I'll ask you, James. Will we be seeing you guys at PCA or possibly TPE anytime soon?
It's a possibility. We're gonna start making a schedule of events and stuff to go to. Oh, sorry, you were. I interrupt when I get chatty.
Well, one thing about it is that we plan on being everywhere. We're gonna try our damnedest to be all over. Places where we need to be. And just make this thing happen. We want everybody to have the opportunity to enjoy a classic stick cigar, and I guarantee it's going to be a household name. It's going to be it's definitely going to be a household name. Everybody's going to really, once they try it, they're going to love it. They're going to love it. I guarantee.
I like it.
But the names. If the names of each cigar, like this is the Classic King, and you're smoking
Windy
the
over
Classic
here. Sorry.
JD. I believe a couple of days ago you had the Classic Cecil, and I do have another one called the Classic Rose. The names came from family members. I thought like I stated earlier, I wanted to be, do something a little different, and these are some people that played a major impact in my life, and I was like, I'm sitting here trying to figure out, damn, what could I call these names? I'm writing stuff down, and then all of a sudden it just hit. I said, well, why not name it after some very important people that made a major impact? And the Classic King is my grandfather on my father's side. The Classic Cecil is my grandfather on my mother's side, and Classic JD is my dad, and the Classic Rose is my mother. So coming up with that, it stuck, and it just, I'm digging, man. I mean, everybody else is like, oh man, that's pretty unique, So yeah, that's how the names came about of each cigar.
Very nice.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I like that. Paying honor to those
Oh,
that
yeah.
came before you, made you who you are. I love that.
Yeah.
So Devin, I'm gonna ask you this now. With the exception of the Rose, that's the only one we haven't tried yet. If you were gonna smoke the other three, on a Saturday, just out gonna have some cigars, what order would you smoke them in?
Damn fine question. Let's see. Honestly, I would probably save the Rose for dessert. It just has that kind of profile to me, like a nice. It reminds me a lot of like maple syrup and pancakes for some reason, like real maple syrup, not like Aunt Jemima, which is also delicious. I'd probably. I mean, the JD is the lightest, the Cecil's a medium, and then the King is more on the full end. But I don't know. I'd probably start, it depends on where I am, but let's say I'm at home, I'd probably start off with the Cecil, do the JD in the afternoon, like lunchtime, and then finish off with the King, and do the rows by the pool when the sun's going down kind of thing.
I like that.
Okay.
The
Okay.
rose is just like a little petite 4x30 and a 5x30, but it's just got that little chill vibe to it.
I like that. See, I
All
think a
right.
lot of people they look past the smaller ring gauge cigars. We get a lot
There's a
of flavor
lot
out
of
of those
flavor
smaller
in
ring
them.
gauge. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually got really intrigued into the smaller ring gauges like that by the Fuente. I think they're called damn it, Exquisitos. Like
Yes.
those little things. I freaking love them. Like a little $3 smoke, I'm in heaven. And then that's kind of how I started getting into those sizes. But because there's just so much flavor for such a little cigar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
What
So
if I
James,
was
I
at a
posed to
shop
you
hanging out? Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, James, I'm gonna ask you the same question. If you're gonna smoke your cigars in one day, what order would you go?
You know, walking in, if I had to go to a cigar lounge, if I had to walk into a cigar lounge, I would start with the classic JD. That would be my
I'd be the
first
same.
walking into the cigar lounge. Then from there, I probably, based on the time of day, as evening goes, it will be the classic King. Um, the classic Cecil is something that I would smoke. Like if I'm at home like now, but I'm smoking the King now. But this classic Cecil, I'm sitting at home and just kind of indulging, just kind of enjoying a good cigar, 70 ring gauge, So I would, smoke the classic Cecil at home. I would smoke it out too, but if I had to come home and just kind of unwind a little bit, it would be, the Cecil. Now the classic Rose, that that little joker, man, is that's something that I can get out of the car with. I get out the car with it in my mouth, and and just kind of hang out outside, just kind of hang out outside around my car, smoking the classic Rose. Now, classic Rose was, I kind of created that as, for the ladies, but it's not necessarily for the ladies, if that makes any sense, because I
Oh yeah.
enjoy smoking them. I mean, I love the classic Rose. It kind of makes me feel like, when I created it, I wanted something like, I'm a big Western fan, so Clint Eastwood, when he had those, that's how I kind of want it to be, something like a long, different type, rough road cigar, but smooth at the same time.
What
And
were those cheroots or something?
No, his were the Toscanos.
Were they the Toscanos?
yeah, that's exactly what they were. I was trying to think of the name, but yeah, that's exactly what they were.
Very iconic right there. I like that. I like your idea then. Yeah, I would love
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. So it's the Rose is a phenomenal cigar, but that's how I would smoke my cigars. Even though I'm smoking the King now, because it was the first thing that I grabbed. I rushed in and and I'd say, man, let me just grab, but normally I'll be out here smoking a Cecil.
Yeah, that is a danger of really good cigars, especially when you sell them yourself. It's you might smoke them all. I've actually we do our own limited releases a couple times a year. We only make so many of them. It'll be 1,000 for the next one, 1,000 or 1,500. Either way, I'm breaking into them too often, and we're smoking our own product. It's not good. It's not good. It's very dangerous. But at the same time, it's like, well, if I enjoy it, did it really? Am I really losing if I'm gonna enjoy it?
Yeah, because we're getting them wholesale from ourselves.
Yeah.
So my next thing I want to bring up is your guys' bands.
Oh yeah.
These are pretty unique bands. I haven't really seen bands this quality on a lot of cigars. I mean, you get some that are really extravagant, with foil and whatnot. But
Right.
your guys' bands are very hefty.
Oh yeah.
What made you decide on that? I mean, as opposed to just some thin paper.
So it's just as a name, classic. I wanted something that was real classic. Um, Not cheap. Didn't want anything to look cheap. Now, creating the bands was a process. It definitely was a process. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it took longer than what I expected. You know, I mean, not a lot of people can make these type of bands. So we had to do a search, a heavy search, man. And once we found somebody, and when they created, I was just blown away. I said, "Now this is what I was looking for." You know, you can sit and you can pitch your ideas to someone all day long, and you just hope that they would get it right. And sometimes, they'll come close. You're like, okay, but they hit this on the nail. I mean, this was a home run out of the park. When the bands were created, the type of paper, I mean, it was just, I said, okay, this is what classy is all about. This is what classic Stix is all about. The band accommodates the cigar, and what a lot of people don't realize is that the band is a major role in the cigar. It's a major role. People who have smoked, they keep the band. They keep the band. It's like, man, this is not a cheap band. I said, no, it's not a cheap band.
Nope.
It's very
Nope.
expensive.
Yep.
So we hit it out the park with the bands and the cigars, of course, but we hit it out the park with the band. We definitely hit it out the park with the band. You won't find any other bands like this. This is a very unique type band.
Oh, it very much is. I mean, yeah, like Frankie was saying, a lot of them are that thinner paper right there. Tend to kind of when I take them off, they tend to rip a little bit. I love that I could slide this guy off really easily because I don't want to pull my band apart. Sometimes I do save them. I save a lot of bands actually,
Right.
and it's nice to have something completely intact because it doesn't ruin the artwork. I can look all the way around this still, and I have the entire image
Right.
of what you guys wanted to include on here. I have this. I have the crown. I have the portrait. Everything is still intact, and I really appreciate that.
You know who the portrait is, right?
I can take a guess.
Take a guess.
For JD, I'm guessing is that is that your family right there?
I'll give you a hint. It's not me.
I was expecting when are we gonna get a classic Devin then? That's the next one then, right? Is that gonna come out?
Oh yeah. There might be a super hot Jesus stick out there in the near future. It's a name someone gave me on the internet, and I just stuck with it because it's funny. But it'll happen.
Yeah, most definitely.
I would buy a box of that cigar real easy. That's happening.
Right? It's just ridiculous. So you gotta.
Yeah, that picture is actually me. That is me on the picture.
Very nice. Now, where I see a hat now, but I don't see this hat. I don't know if I could show that on camera. It's not going to show up too well. Do you still have the hat though?
I still have.
Oh, he has hats.
Nice.
Man.
Dude, you could pick this guy out in a crowd by the hats he wears.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it.
It accommodates the cigar, man. I mean, the whole dress up. I'm a classy man. That's that. There you go.
Classic, man.
You're a classic man.
When you look this clean, you can be this mean.
Before we have to wrap it up, because we are getting close to time, Devin, I'll start with you. What other activities do you enjoy while you're smoking cigars? Golf, I don't know, reading, what have you? What other things you like to do while you smoke?
Brewing beer while I smoke. Just sitting out here by the pool, which is off to my right. Just walking the dog, of course, which is where the rose is very fantastic because it's hard to smoke a large cigar with a pit bull wanting to stop every 5 seconds to pee on everything.
Very, very
If I was in a place where there was more fishing to do, I would do that. But yeah, that's kind of about it, probably.
Okay.
Being a passenger in a car, that's a great time to smoke, if it's permitted.
Yeah.
Very true. Of course. James, how about you?
You know, it really all over, man. I fire up a stick all over. You know, if I'm just taking the trash out, you know,
Ooh, grilling is a great time to smoke. Sorry.
grilling. Yes, grilling is an excellent time to smoke. You know, just chilling with your friends. You know, outside, just kind of hanging out. You know, on the patio or something like that. You know, just of course, going to cigar lounges. But you know, it's one thing about these, you can smoke them in them because the aroma is not overbearing. This is, I mean, people when they smell the aroma, they're like, "Oh man, what is that? What is that you're smoking?" What I mean, the aroma. I love the smell of. So, um, so yeah, it's smoking anywhere, man.
I like it.
Fantastic.
Quick
And then I
little
have a
quick little interruption here. Like I've been practicing the retrohale. I know, shame on me, I'm not a real smoker because I don't retrohale every chance I get. But upon retrohale with this thing, at least the 60 size, I just got this like what are those things? Tootsie Pop or like Tootsie Roll kind of flavor aroma thing going on, which is something that just makes me smile because every time I have one, like the more I have them, I find something new to enjoy, like that. Anyway, sorry, I was just blown away. I'm like, oh, that's Tootsie Rolls.
So, James, now if someone was going to try just one of your cigars, you know, they want to just to give it a try. Like, okay, new brand, let me try one. What cigar would you suggest them to try?
The King, the full body King. Reason why I say is because even though the King is a full body, it doesn't taste like a full body. It's a smooth cigar. And by trying the King, and people, they'll say, okay, if that's a full body, I wonder what the other ones, would be like if I can smoke the other classic Stix. So I would definitely recommend starting out with the King, even though it's full, but I mean, it's so smooth. It doesn't smoke. It doesn't smoke like any other full body. And once again, that was one of the when I decided to do this, that was one of the main factors. Hey, look, I want something that will not change your taste bud. I don't want nothing harsh because sometimes a harsh cigar, and I see these people, that's something that's real harsh. People pull on it, and then they have a tendency of spitting after they blow the smoke out. Just because of that taste. And I didn't want that. I wanted something with an even burn, long, hard ash, real smooth from the start to the finish. That's enjoyable, and once you complete it, you're looking to grab another one. And that's what I was looking for. I mean, that's how I like my cigars. And not a lot of cigars out there, are like that. Not a lot. Klass is Stix is a class of their own.
Okay. So, Devin, how about you? If someone was going to try one of your cigars, they're new to the brand, they want to give one a try, which one would you recommend?
I would try to figure out first, however long we've been chatting before it comes to trying the cigar. I'd try to figure out, are they more like light, medium, full, and probably base it off of that. But James does have an excellent point with the King. It's it's on the a full-bodied end of the spectrum, but it doesn't knock you on your ass when you smoke it. Like, some full-bodied cigars out there, you don't want to stand up for a little while afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it doesn't have so much of that nicotine punch that you're just like. But I think if you really want to experience, like, I'd probably say the King, like in the Robusto size though, because it's a little easier to handle. But
Smart.
yeah,
Well,
probably pretty similar.
I would not turn him away from the JD either. If you get, I don't know if
Yeah.
he's gonna show up very well on camera, but
Oh,
I'm getting
for
very
sure.
much down on that guy.
Yeah.
He's going
Actually,
beautifully
when
this
we
entire
were out in Pennsylvania, I apologize to the man, but we were at Goose's Monte Cristo Cigar Lounge, I believe. What he calls it? I apologize if he ever finds this for goofing the name of his shop. Super cool dude. He's actually the guy who took the Black and Milds to the moon. But I handed him a JD for his first smoke without really too many questions, and he loved it. So, but
hey, when it's a good
I've
product,
seen everybody's first cigar be different.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So before we wrap this up, guys, just real quick on this JD, as far as the flavor notes go, I'm getting almost like a root beer with a little extra vanilla hit to it, and then I'm also getting in there with that candela, that's the barber pole part of it. Every so often, just that hint of kind of herbal grass.
Right.
Amen.
Right.
Yep.
It comes in waves as you kind of progress with the cigar and as you get up that candela spiral. So it adds a nice little complement to the other taste that I'm already getting, and it kind of changes it up a bit to kind of keep you interested, even more so than just the straight root beer flavor would be.
I get that. I definitely get that. It's got that little bit of San Andreas, very mineral hit to it, which I very much like, especially with the sweet that we're getting. I think vanilla is a good way to describe it. I think that's hits the nail on the head.
Right.
I want to thank you guys for being on. I do appreciate it, and I do appreciate you guys sending us out these cigars to try. Very enjoyable week for us. And before we wrap it up and say goodbye, James, is there anything else you'd like to tell us before we go?
Sure. I just want the people to really go out and try this classic cigars. I really would like, you to try it. I guarantee you can't go wrong with it. I mean, it's a phenomenal cigar. All you cigar smokers out there, definitely try to get your hands on the classic stick. And I guarantee you will not go wrong with it. You will love the cigar. Is no other cigar like it. It's in the class of its own. It's in the class of its own, I guarantee.
Very nice. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being on with us.
I'm going to give Devin a chance.
Oh, sorry. Of course.
All right. Come in, find us on Instagram. We got a couple of Facebook pages. Classic Stix. Get in the DMs, comments. Let us know where you would like to see us, and we can definitely try to work something out for you wherever you are. And if any of you in Atlanta are watching, get ready, because I know you guys keep bugging me out there to get Classic Stix. So, and also, if anybody does interact with the socials, that's me. We don't have some robot doing it for us. I'm on there almost 24 hours a day.
Fantastic.
let us know what you think. Everybody, good, bad, or ugly. Let us know.
Yeah, of course.
Excellent.
All right. Well, we thank you guys so much for being on with us today. And again, thank you for letting us try your cigars.
Of
Yeah,
course. Anytime.
pleasure, man. Thank you. Thank you for smoking them.
Definitely appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right.
There we go. All right, guys. That was a very nice interview right there. Really got a chance to hear about the brand. Hear about a really cool story to the background to that too. I really like that. But that's gonna do it for us for this Friday. We will see you guys Monday. Man, I wanted to have the next feature already ready to go, but we'll have it to you guys as soon as we can. And have a good weekend. We'll talk the new releases for movies and whatnot coming obviously next week.
Yeah, Wednesday you guys will be a big Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, so make sure you go see it before then because there will be spoilers. We already saw it last night. It's fantastic, but I don't want to get into it right now. Don't forget the May birthday contest is still up on our Facebook page.
Yes.
Best Ash contest is still up on our Facebook group. And the weight loss challenge will be in full swing. So if you guys want to get in on that, make sure you message Miguel to get a part of it. And we will see you guys Monday. You all have a great weekend.
Absolutely. Have a good one, guys.